Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Russell, AmbeRussell. You guys subscribe at the top, thumbs up the video, leave a comment at the bottom. Make sure you guys watch previous videos and stay tuned what we have in the future for you guys. So, LeBron James and the Miami Heat lost Game 6, which means that the Mavs won the championship and they won the ring for the NBA title this year. And what I find this to be a really big deal is the fact that this whole year and parts of last year and this whole basketball season was about LeBron James and him getting his first ring, because he had a TV special last year around this time. They have him and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh were in magazines and all sorts doing ads, promoting themselves, pimping themselves out to be the big three, like the top three players and all on one team, and making such a huge deal about these three players all being on Miami. Everyone expected greatness from them, and what was the first game that happened? The first ever game that they played as a unit, they lost. That to me really made me think these guys aren't as great as the hype. There's too much hype, there's too much talk about them, and yet they're not backing it up. Now, I was never really too much of a LeBron fan. Now I'm more of a LeBron disliker, more of a LeBron hater really. And he's very arrogant on the court. He walked and he bumped into his coach on purpose, and he's a very big crybaby. If he doesn't win, he gets upset. When he lost last night, he walked off the court without shaking anyone's hand, while Dwayne Wade actually shook people's hands and was, congratulating them. And, he's 27 years old. He should really grow up really fast. And this league is going to be really tough on him if he can't handle being able to not winning every single thing. I really feel as though he felt that he deserved to win and that it was his right to be a ring holder this season and to have the ring given to him because he went on this great team. But in all actuality, it's not just about who deserves, who has the heart, who has the soul, who has the passion to win. And Dirk Nowitzki, who was on the same team since he started playing basketball for the past 17 years and on the league, had the heart and he had the drive. This is his first time ever winning. And as well as Jason Kidd, who's been going to other teams as well. But the way LeBron James went about this whole going to the Heat and just bragging about it and trying to seem as though he's the next Michael Jordan, everyone comparing him to him, but yet he doesn't show and prove that. Whereas his arrogance as other players, they always come on the court and always play at their 100%. LeBron James, by the fourth quarter, he scores 2.2 average points in the finals. That's not good. Whenever it's time for him to shoot, he passes the ball to someone else. And every single time it's time for him to, show and prove and be the team leader that he should be, it always seems as though it falls on Dwayne Wade to always try to move the team up. And Dirk, who played against the Heat in 2006, I believe, he had the passion, he had more of the drive and the will. Dwayne Wade, and LeBron and Chris and the rest of the team, they have years ahead of them to try to get this. And, I'm really happy that LeBron didn't win, just the fact that if he had won this game, he was expected that he was supposed to win every single season. He had his mindset not to win, and also this sort of humbles him and shows that it's more about being a good player and being a good teammate and about being an overall good person on the court, and that he's not always going to be able to win every single time he gets on the court, and that greatness comes with patience and winning comes with patience as well, and that he needs to really step up and really be a captain of his team if he wants to be the next Michael Jordan. Also, I really am happy that they lost simply because the way how Dwayne Wade and LeBron James were coughing, acting like they were sick, that was very arrogant, that was very childish. They both need to grow up. It really seems as though LeBron James is taking Dwayne Wade down the wrong path. He's really making him be much more unlikable. Also, they said that, I believe his name's Terry, the guy with the headband, he was telling rumors saying that LeBron James' mom slept with people as well as his girlfriend. That got to his head. And, LeBron, I'm sorry to say it, but your hairline's going back. He was stressed out this season. I don't know why, because he wasn't like he was the team player. He flaked on all the finals, and he's a really big crybaby. He needs to really grow up and take a nice jumbo piece of pie, of humble pie, and go out there, practice, and do better next season, and not be able and be better for the fourth quarter than what he was this past season. Other news: Kim Kardashian is engaged to another basketball player. I think his name is Chris Humphrey, spelled similar to her mom's name. and he's still with her, even though she allegedly cheated on him via Twitter and tweets or whatever. It was viral cheating, but is cheating still cheating if it's in person or if they never met? They said Kim never met this other guy. Who knows? But he's still with her, and he gave her a $2 million ring. First of all, this guy makes $3.7 million a year, so that's a really big chunk of money from out his paycheck, you know? So they're saying that either he got it for her. There's pictures of her wearing the ring back in '09, so maybe it's a recycle ring. You never know. And they said that the mom probably got it, and they said that maybe Channel E bought it for them, E Network. But regardless of how the ring was given to her, I think she should really take that ring and donate the money to the proceeds that her song did not help with. Because you remember Kim Kardashian had a song come out, I forget what it's called, it was horrible. She had no emotion in her voice when she was singing, and it was just very flat and boring, and her vocals weren't good. The song was an okay, decent song, but too much auto-tune, and it still didn't help her voice. And I feel as though that because she wasn't able to make any funds to help this charity out, she should take that ring, donate it, and give that proceeds from that ring, and give the money from the ring, and give it to the charity, you know, just to help them out. And this guy, he's really smart. She's really smart for getting a prenup, but he's really smart. His name is going to get bigger because he's with her. And people, since the Nets are going to New York, going to the Bronx or Brooklyn. I forget which one. I was getting confused with those two boroughs. The Nets are going to the Bronx, to Brooklyn rather, and that's going to be in New York, so his name's going to get bigger because of that. And you never know, there's going to be Kim live in New York with Chris, Kim and Chris type show, like Chloe and Lamar. Justin Timberlake, there was an interview talking about him, and he was saying how he's going to start doing more acting. And I just think that him as an actor is not as great as him as a performer, as a musician. And he said he's not going to doesn't know when the next album is going to come out. I think him as a producer, singer, songwriter, as well as dancer, overall performer is great and is really needed in the music industry right now, whereas him as an actor isn't really needed. He's not that great of an actor to be, you know, dropping the music thing on, put it on hold for the past 5 years. With Future Sex Love Sounds, one of my favorite albums to date, and I really want to see a follow-up album from him. It's very nice, mature music from him, and I think he could really, you know, change music as it is today and not get us away from the dubstep and the fist pumping type music and the dance type music and get us to, you know, more meaningful songs and more ballad type stuff that he did with the Future Sex album. And I don't understand why he's still trying to do the acting and can't do the music as well, juggle the two of them. Beyonce does it all the time. Also with Beyonce, she has an album coming out in 3 weeks or so, and her album leaked 3 weeks in advance, and I really see that's a bad thing, because people who want to buy the album don't need to buy it because they got it for free, you know? And I really think she should push the album date back, and it's no shame in her game if she does that, because, look, everything happens to the greatest of us. The best of us always has something negative happen, and I think that if she reworks her album, remaster some songs that she already recorded, and put them on the album that never been heard, she gets a nice safe and put her music in there and make sure the right people are around her, change the management and get Matthew back as a manager, and ditch this whole idea, not ditch the whole idea, but keep a couple of songs, or keep all the songs rather, and just add a couple more, like a good 10 songs or so onto this album, because only 12 songs. Party was a good song, Countdown was her on the radio. I did like the In the Time song as well. There's a couple other songs that stood out to me, but the overall album sounds like a love letter to Jay-Z, and it's being summertime, and this album's supposed to come out in summertime. She should have more up-tempo stuff up there. I think she's in a rock in the hard spot because she's trying to do the mature stuff, but people want her to do the dance stuff, and it's hard to balance the two of them. And I think Rule the World wasn't a great example of that. I think it was a great example of her trying to still be the 20-something-year-old and not try to be the 30-year-old woman that she's about to be, and the married woman that she's about to be, or that she is rather. And she just has to balance the two out. Same thing with what happened with Christina Aguilera last year. And, you know, just people coming into their midlife crisis type in the music industry, is really hard to transition to being from the teeny bopper to the grown woman and have your fans come along with you. I think she should rework this and have a little bit more versatility on this album, with not just having ballads and 4 mid-tempo, up-tempo type songs, because it still is Beyonce. She still is known for the dance stuff, and I think that's what she should bring back into this album. Other stuff, she also has a tour going up in Europe and France and London. I think that's a horrible time scheduling, because she's not doing any promoting here. Her songs aren't doing as great as they should be on the radios and stuff. So I think if she did a little bit more promotion here, going on the talk shows and all that different stuff while they're still on, and performing here in advance of the album coming out, like how Lady Gaga did with her album. Matthew really needs to come up as the manager again, and you need to fire whoever's around you and rework your whole album, have it come back out in maybe July, remaster a couple of songs, and get the best album that you can have, so you won't have a flop coming up. Britney Spears has a concert coming up, Femme Fatale tour, and people review that. They said she's singing 40% of the time. My thing is this: Michael Jackson, This Is It concert, or rather rehearsal video, was 10 times better than what I've seen Britney Spears in the past couple of months. He was 50 years old, addicted to sleeping medicines, and all sorts of stuff. He was in pain, as well as he was going to die in less than 24 hours of the show being recorded. And he put on a hell of a job. He was at 1,000% throughout the whole thing. Even though it's the best footage of the night that that was recorded and put on the DVD and put in the movie theaters, that is still better than what I'm seeing from her on her concert tour previews and the rehearsals and the sneak peeks. A lot of people said it was great. They said she sung 40% of the time. If she's going to not dance as hard as she used to, she just sing 100% of the time. Her last tour, she was very much, it was a great tour. It was done staged beautifully, but her presence in the tour wasn't good at all. She was very lackluster. She walked across the stage. She was very unenergized and very just not there, very zombie-like, dead in the eyes. And she lip-synced the whole entire time, and she was very stiff and very, awkward on the stage. Whereas this whole overall staging was great. The pyro, the lighting, the videos, and the dancers, and all the special effects around her made the concert very good. And I fear that this new tour might do the same with her. And with that said, with Michael Jackson being said, Madonna as well as Janet Jackson as well as Jennifer Lopez, who just had twins at that. Jennifer Lopez is like 41 years old. Janet Jackson's 45 years old. Madonna's 51 years old. All these people are performing at their hardest and at their best levels, and almost seem as though they're in their teens still. Whereas Britney Spears looks as though she's 50 years old. She looks like she's performing at what they should be performing at, but they're performing at how she should be at. And I don't understand how this 30-year-old woman, or soon-to-be 30-year-old woman, isn't at where J-Lo was at when she was 30, or where Janet was at when she was 30. They said Britney Spears is going to have more crowd interaction and, doing a little dance for them, as well as like what Janet Jackson does. Janet Jackson goes full out. I hope it's not weak like how Rihanna and Nicki Minaj have been doing it. I hope it's a good, little striptease or whatever you want to call it, a lap dance or whatever. And but I just don't understand how people can go pay $20 to go see that and know that there are people out there performing 10 times better who are less famous than her. There's people 10 times better than her who are 10 times older than her, or twice her age. And Tina Turner, for instance, she's doing an amazing job. She has high energy, dancing, singing live all the time, not just some of the time, and has lip sync most of the time. She's on the grind all the time. Again, with Michael Jackson, he died the next day. I don't know how much I can explain that, emphasize that she is not at a level of performing as these other people, and yet people still praise her and say she's doing good, when there are other people who are doing great and fantastic at her age. Look how Beyonce was at the Billboard Music Awards. You compare the two, you can't even compare the two at all. You can't even put the two in the same box. I just hope the best for her. Hope we get to see the old Britney come back sooner than later and have her not tarnish too much more of her legacy than what she has already done with like the Billboard Music Awards, as well as with the 2007 VMAs. Seth MacFarlane wants to remake the Flintstones. I think this is a horrible idea. He's a create a Family Guy and American had more other shows, I believe. I'm not sure. And I just don't think he will be able to get the same flair and same idea and same jokes and same formula of the Flintstones and get the same idea and feel of the characters and the archetypes of the characters right and down the path as the original Flintstones. And if you want to rebring the show back to the new generation, simple way is this. Re-air old episodes. Lady Gaga's new album dropped. It sold, it lost 84% of its original first week sales, and that's because people downloaded it for $1, and then when the dollar was over, it was done selling. It seems like it's going to be a year for Adele, and also bad news with Lady Gaga. Her record company sold out 2.5 million CDs, and with that being said, they expected her physical album to be sold over the downloads, and it didn't. So that means so many record stores and places have too many Lady Gaga CDs left. And that's a bad look on Lady Gaga because that means they're not going to start ordering as much albums from her, and she's going to have less albums in the store itself. And Chris Brown has a remix with SWV for She Ain't You, which is a good look on his part because, you know, it's original people. I just don't think the song is that great lyrically, and thank you guys for watching. This is AmbeRussell. Subscribe at the top, thumbs up the video, leave a comment at the bottom. Peace.